Hi there, video camera. We're gonna minimize you. Now I can't see my face. And I'm just gonna talk as if I'm not self-conscious. And I'm going to say that I think this is the final piece of what I'm trying to say for myself. And this is first fun. And I don't know how it's gonna sound because I just rumbled out a bunch of words and we can start to take a trip down them from the top. It's been a couple hours. So my memory of the email was hazy. I had not replied, and for several days it's been following me. It's a small thing with big feelings underneath. You aren't doing your job. I'm taking some time to breathe and sort out my human messy stuff. I think this is okay. Stop being human and make sure work is done first. I think everything is all right. Don't just think. Be sure. Go back. Look at it. Look at it. Take it in. Are you sure? No, I can't. I don't want to look it in the eye. I only want to look at it squinting and sideways. I think my decision is right, but I'm not entirely sure. And I don't want to look at it any closer right now because maybe I'm not right and I can't handle that. Maybe I need to do something more, but I and all the air goes out of my balloon. I sit quietly in the pile of fabric. I just wanted to take some moments to breathe. I was pretty sure everything was all right. Isn't that good enough? When you batter me like this, I don't want to check in case I'm wrong. 'Cause I don't think I can handle that. There's something there. So I gather the fabric of my deflated hot air balloon and I wrap it up around me and my dog. We will cuddle while I poke in my basement. Poke, 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 poke. I don't want to make mistakes because I don't want to suffer. Suffering is the magic ingredient, the currency. Think somewhere layers ago it began as if I feel worse, I'll work harder. You piece of shit. Don't you appreciate anything? Don't you care? Obviously not. I'll know it when I see it. I hope you feel wretched because maybe then you'll do something. Maybe then you'll do better. If I'm working harder, it'll hurt more. That's good because I need to work harder, because I need to do better. Suffering means I'm on the right track, and if I'm worried about whether I'm on the right track, fighting my way back is easy. The thread to follow is bright and strong. Muscle memory burns it in. Familiar, familiar. This is the way I do good. But suffering isn't only useful as a goad to get my butt in gear. Suffering is the currency of relationships. When I've done wrong, when I've failed. And some things can be fixed, and some things can't. And because it's not about me, it's the bottom line. All that matters isn't that I've tried. Those are words we say, but I can't reconcile them with the evidence. The most important thing of all is what needs to be done. I tried, but the house is still a dumpster. I tried, but my parents are still not well. I tried, but the dog still hasn't gotten to play. I tried, but I still lost my homework. I tried, but I still mix up numbers. The world doesn't give me any sign that my trying has value. Nothing is better. And that's what counts. So, from somewhere comes the idea that my suffering is what I can give when I have nothing else. Human suffering is infinite and inexhaustible, always accessible, even when there aren't enough hours to fill all the trash bags, enough superpowers to fix other people, enough spoons to wrangle sensory overload and learning differences. I tried, but I fell short. I'll make the balance up with suffering. I don't want to jip you. And for the overachiever with the best of intentions, I can't resist giving a bonus wherever I can. If suffering is free cash, something of value that I can pull out of myself, something I can offer that's within my capabilities, something I can control, I'd like to give you the best value. And even if my mistake is fixable, I'll give you double scoops of suffering on the side just because I like to go the extra mile. A great idea became best practices, became the rule. I remember my parents saying to me, "It's okay if you hate us. This is that time in your life where you might want to yell at us and run away from home, and we just want you to know that's okay. To be angry, you can tell us that too. We're ready for it. We know it's normal. It doesn't have to be unhealthy." And I thought, I hope they don't expect me to shout. I don't like yelling. I just want things to be better. I just want to help make them that way. I want to work harder. I want to do good. Maybe when things are better, I'll be less lonely and less crushingly sad. I don't know if there's any better hope than that, so I'd like to keep trying here. What about all these ideas of together? I don't like all this talk about hate. I don't understand. I didn't have all those words, so I was quiet and then just said, "No, I don't hate you." They looked at each other helplessly and couldn't think of what to say besides, "Okay. Well, if that changes, that's okay." And that was all they could think of to do. Bless their souls, they kept on reading parenting books and talking to their relatives, and everyone just said, "Heck, we don't know either. The kid should hate you by now. That's what kids do." We didn't know what to do for each other. So, in my mind, I gave them as many dollars as I could of my suffering. Sven spoke about maintaining a cognitive model that they and Zan and Kara love me and are with me, but in this lockdown without sharing time and touch, struggling to feel that. It's feeling with you that puts my upended world back together and returns it from Picasso scrambles. It's feeling with you that keeps me from shaking and stops me if I am. And maybe all those crazy impulses for running and anger, the ones that my parents were looking for, but I could never find, the ones that rumbled in my brain on that one very bad night recently. Maybe those impulses come out too, are among the scattered marbles crashing and bouncing out of the bag when the social persistence of vision runs out, if I'm emotionally alive and in touch with my humanness. If I'm emotionally alive and in touch with my humanness. When I was 16, I read the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. I never forgot the words, like a patient etherized upon a table. Of course, the image of being a moth pinned to a board and the stalwart sadness that I felt at they and I having measured out my life with coffee spoons. I felt like I had made a friend, but I didn't want to be like them. They were like me, and it was showing me I didn't want to be this way. As the age of internet took up, I made my name unetherized. I clung to it like a token, a hopeful prophecy I cast over myself. No more coffee spoons. My entire life felt like the phrase, patient etherized upon a table. I wanted something more. And waking up means shaking when I don't feel someone there. I ran out shaking into the world, and I've been mostly shaking ever since. I posit that maintaining a cognitive model of others being with me, even though I can't feel it, is enough to keep me functional and living day to day for potentially many years if I'm etherized. If I'm not, if I presume, if I take a bite out of life and a fistful of the universe and I reach out saying, do you see? You feel it too? Risking wrecking that seemingly so ordered, perfect world with none of this messy, gutsy questing. The ideal world that could be mine if I'd follow the conventions and the rules and I kept myself in my place and I remembered how should I begin to spit out all the butt ends of my days and ways, and I let that make me feel helpless. But if I presume, I blink my eyes open and I grab and I bite, I need to feel like I am reaching you. I can't lie back down on the table anymore. Big, deep breaths, note to self. Yes, it's feeling with you. Feeling with you. Feeling with you. The words are a beat that I want to rub my face all over. Something I want to dance with my body, bury my hands into like a thick shag rug. The silhouette of a tree that makes my heart do leaps inside my chest. It feels like a prayer, maybe. I'm such a strange kind of creature, and I see the things all mixed up, my feelings with my textures and the sunlight and my sadness and all the smells of dirt and all the ways that feather fibers cling to make one rippling satin sheet around their stem. Other people do it too, just not that many. At least I don't hear many talk about it. Do you ever drink words like a cup of tea? I asked Zan. And he said, yes, and sometimes I drink them like soup. And, and that was very important for me to hear. Let's live. Let's live. Let's live. Let's feel. Let's feel. I want to take my numbness and my suffering and wrap them up so gently in the most beautiful burial shroud and have a funeral that is a celebration of life. And there can be flowers and music and tears. We can all come together and think about the years and all of the things that we can never have back. How much we're afraid. Yes, yes, yes. There is a sorrow at the bottom of all hearts, like a deep blue lake, I believe. And I think it deserves visiting. Let's not wait until somebody tears a hole into our worlds. Let's do it now, as soon as possible. I want my heart to break, and I want to do it with you, where we can watch each other fill gold into our cracks. And I'll shoot a flaming arrow at a little newspaper boat folded out of the receipts I collected of my suffering. Feeling with you. Feeling with you. And I want everything to be a love letter.